Pregame.com.
Friday night at Chavez Ravine finds the Mets at the Dodgers as R.A. Dickey tries to bounce back from a rough outing, his first real bad outing of the season. Well, second, I guess, if you throw Atlanta in there from early in the year. But he gets popped by the New York Yankees on Sunday Night Baseball, gives up 5 earned runs, and there's an old saying.
Didn't someone talk about that
I think we talked about that the other night. I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm glad we brought it up.
Yeah, I'm not one to pat ourselves on the back, but I thought we thought Dickey wasn't going to have a very good outing.
They were a triple-dime play by me on Sunday night also, the Yankees, so I was real happy. You had the over, I know for sure.
Yeah, we expected Dickey to get roughed up.
Let me say this, though. There's the old saying about knuckleballers that says their highs are high, their lows are even grander. What do you think is going to happen when he steps into Chavez Ravine, which is a pitcher's park for the most part, not a great OPS park this year, but generally speaking, this is where pitchers want to go.
I think this is a tough spot for him against this Dodgers team. I know offensively, they're no juggernaut, especially now that they don't have Kemp and Ellis in the lineup. I get that. But you're still having to go to the West Coast, go up against the Dodgers, and I don't think this is a great spot for Dickey. I don't think he bounces right back. You got to remember, he's pitched 105 innings already. And though you brought up a great point last time, a knuckleballer doesn't have the stress on their arm a fastball pitcher, a curveball pitcher has.
Sure.
He still pitched 105 major league innings.
And a bunch of innings over about 4 starts, including 2 9-inning starts in a row before Sunday night.
Exactly. So I don't think this is a great spot for him. I'll tell you what about these Mets. They're only 4.5 games back, but I don't see them making the playoffs. I don't see them making a run for the division. I really don't. I think they're a mediocre team at best. Looking at the Dodgers, everyone's waiting for them to fall off. That's not happening. Now they've won 57% of their games. That's good. I mean, the most you could expect a team in first place to win, 57, 58, 59. So they're not really doing too much above expectations as far as the sport of baseball, but for the Dodgers, they are. No one really saw this going into the season. And the Pythagorean over-under says they've won 5.5 games more than they should. With that said, I really believe San Fran's going to surpass them and win the division.
Especially if they get Skinny Timmy on his game.
I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better. If he gets hot, Giants are going to not run away with the division. They will win the division.
Just for a second, getting off the Dodgers for just a second, that's what impresses me so much about San Francisco, because they don't have the beard. They don't have Brian Wilson to close things out in the pen. Been shaky at times in the pen. Lincecum is not even a shell of his former self. He's been so erratic and strange. And, I went against him his last start, I think it was, when he gave up 3 or 4 runs in the first inning and then throws great for like 5 innings. And he's been that way. He has like a good chunk mixed with a horrible chunk, something going on there. Nobody's come out and said it's arm weariness or arm fatigue or anything like that.
I think they pushed him too hard. And we saw that with a lot of pitchers over the last 5, 7, 10 years. Where a guy comes in and they push him to pitch 220, 230 innings, and someone that's used to pitching 60, 70, 80 innings before that, all of a sudden, their arm's not used to it. They have a great year and a half, and then they tend to fall off, and hopefully there's not damage done, and they could get back, in the game form and at least be able to throw well again. But with all that said, I still like the Dodgers in this spot, because I think the Mets aren't overvalued, but I think Dickey is still overvalued. I think bettors are going to give him a pass for losing to the New York Yankees and losing to Sabathia. I think he gets a pass there.
I agree.
And I think the market's still going to overvalue Dickey unless he gets rocked a few times, because you're going to look at his last 3 starts and it's going to have 1 bad game in there. So I'm going to back the Dodgers here as my pick. I'll take Harang. I'll take the Dodgers. I don't think you'll have to lay more than 110.
Harang's been great at home so far. And also, you got to assume, I mean, maybe that knuckleballer is fluttering all over the place, and when that happens, you can swing 3 times before the ball gets to the plate. But the bottom line is that if he's not in his 8 or 9 inning, almost complete game form, if he is throwing 5 or 6, even 7 innings, you're talking about the worst bullpen. This is opposite of the game we spoke about yesterday with Pittsburgh. We've got a bullpen that can't get anybody out.
5 ERA of 5, and it's worse on the road, So that's exactly it. If Dickey doesn't go 8 innings, 8 innings and 2 outs. I mean, how can you back these Mets? Unless the only way I could see backing the Mets, honestly, is if you're going to look at first 5 innings type of things.
That's a good point.
And look for a team that hasn't seen this starter. Maybe if they haven't seen Dickey, it'll take 2-3 times, you know, to get used to it. But backing him for the full game and putting any kind of stock, putting my money on this bullpen, absolutely
you're having to rely way too much on Dickey in this one to go, at least like you said, 8 innings.
Yeah.
He's VR. He is on the LA Dodgers on Friday night. Hey, don't forget to stick around all weekend long. Marco and the gang with videos and baseball on Saturday and Sunday. You're watching pregame.tv.